Hey everyone, it appears I'm live. This is Karma Dragonus, and I'll be coming at you with some Cocoron. Uh, I feel like this screen already kind of describes a lot of what Cocoron is already. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll go ahead and just hop right into it. And right, I'm on timer, so here we go. So here's Tapir. They're basically here to tell us about this wonderful dream world that we're about to create. Also, shoutouts to Shiner just casually dropping like that strong of a run in a marathon setting. Just want to say that. Anyway, so this is basically a create your character kind of game. So we're gonna take a ghost head. I like to take the Skulldurg or the skull head because it looks coolest. We need the wing body so that we can fly and move fast, and then the shuriken weapon because it does a lot of damage. So as you can see, we move pretty fast, we can fly and shoot shurikens. The fastest way to get around this map is to go basically in a circle around the outside. So we're going to start with the Milk Sea here. And mess up all the jumps. Woohoo! That's okay, it's not that huge of a deal here. But yeah. This game just kind of rules. So here's our first boss already. Very, very short stage. The main thing about this boss is that we don't want to be colliding with it directly. Oh, and flashing warning, close your eyes now. There's going to be a little bit more, there's going to be a good amount of flashing throughout this entire run. So if you are sensitive to that, I would highly recommend maybe looking away at the end of boss fights and every time this little Tapir friend shows up. So basically between each of the stages here, we get to create a new character. So we're going to use the question mark face with the other wing body and this melody weapon here, which is very lightweight. So this is kind of similar to our other character, but it jumps higher, moves a bit faster, but has worse weapons. We're basically going to use that for any situation where we have a stage but no boss to fight. However, Skulldurg here is going to be our main for most of the run, just because there are a good number of bosses still left to take care of. Intentional hit here. Watch out for those turtles. I actually am slowing down a little bit to avoid those. You know, I think this Tapir is extremely trustworthy, and there is no reason that we should be afraid of them in a dream setting whatsoever. Never mind their reputation as dream eaters or anything like that. They're just a good friend. Also, fun fact, Tapir and Taper are both valid pronunciations. So, this boss fight is a bit of a lengthy one. We have an entire card sequence where we have to basically avoid all of the spades that are getting shot at us. Our goal is to get to the king that is stuck in the Joker card, but, you know, we got all the spades to get through first. So the main thing I'm trying to do is at least destroy the last spade, because the next card won't show up until I've taken, or until the last spade of the previous card is gone. So I like to make sure I get like the last one or two of these per card. The thing that sucks is if you die, here's the jacks, queens, and Joker containing the king. Oh shoot, I didn't do the thing properly. Well, you get to see what happens when this fight doesn't go right. Typically what happens is I chase him along the top of the screen and it's not a big deal. But sometimes things get a little out of hand, and, well, that's what happens. Alright, so of the 6 character slots that we're going to have, the next character that we make is going to be the last one that we actually use. We're going to take the pumpkin head here and make a boat, and then take our lightweight pencil weapon. This allows us to float on water, or in this case milk, because there's no water in this game. And it also has a weapon that is really lightweight and straightforward, which will be necessary a little later in the game. This stage is really a fun one to execute on, if I can actually get this right. I believe in myself. There we go. Just a lot of jumping and flying and weaving through enemies. And we can just drop down here. Whoops. So here's Santa stuck in an ice block. We're gonna save Christmas. Because why not? Oh no, it's a big dragon! Actually, it's a smaller dragon within an ice sculpture. So we're gonna take a bunch of body checks here and spam, and we're good. So the cool thing about this game that you don't really get to see too much in the speedrun is that the stage layout depends on which level you start at and end at. So going from Milk Sea to Fairy Forest is a lot different than going from, like, Star Hill to Fairy Forest. So there are a lot of different stages in this game that we just don't get to see in the speedrun. I actually very highly recommend this game as a casual play. It is super fun. So there's our first junk character. We don't really care what they do. We're just gonna head over to Star Hill next. Make sure we don't hold left there, otherwise we die. Then we're gonna do a bit of flying here. And yeah, we're just gonna casually jump across these eclairs with pink whales in the background and flying elephants, and then just... Yeah, no, this is Cocoron right here. These stars are kind of heck. Not very fun to deal with. Also, here's Harvest Moon. Have fun sleeping. The main thing we need to worry about with Harvest Moon is not colliding with it directly. And we actually got a really good spawn here. It's nice when he spawns on the left side because it makes it a lot easier to mash. And we have just enough distance to not be touching the stars, which insta-kill us if we hit them before he shoots them at us. After the moon shoots them at you, though, they only do 4 damage instead of being an insta-kill. Okay, we're gonna make another junk character here. We still have 2 more characters to make. And final stage here, as far as the main world map phase goes, Fairy Forest. Long starred section, which we're getting some pretty awful RNG on. Thankfully, it's, whoops, not too big of a deal here. The boss here is pretty easy, even if we have a little bit of a hiccup here. And then we just need to drop smoothly down the chute here. Kill those lions so we don't have to deal with lag from the projectiles they shoot. It's not too hard to just jump over the projectiles. Anyway, here's Titania, the boss of the Fairy Forest. She basically just teleports around, but pretty easy to dodge all of the attacks. Again, I apologize for all the flashing. We've got another flashing that's not from the boss fight coming up after this flashing right here. After I make the next character. Use the ninja head, spring body, because that's the easiest one we can reach. And we've got some flashing incoming as soon as this fairy reaches the center of the screen. So, at this point, we find out that our Tapir friend that's been guiding us around the dream world and, like, helping us build this beautiful dream is actually not friendly. We don't have any bosses to fight here, so we're going to switch to our smiley face here and just zoom across here. So right now the objective of the game is to find Princess Rua, who is trapped in one of the eggs between the stages. And it's always between the Fairy Forest and the Milk Sea. So as far as a speedrun route goes, you want to make sure you end up in either Milk Sea or Fairy Forest, because she will always be right here. The task actually goes in the opposite direction that the human route does, which is kind of fun. So now all of our other characters have been trapped in eggs, and we need to go and free them before we go take on Tapir. So, the character that you were playing as when you rescued Princess Rua is the one that you get to use for this first stage, which we don't really have to shoot anything, so we're totally fine using our little happy quacky friend here. And we're going to use Happy Quacky for the next two stages as well. Just kind of fly off the top of the screen here for a moment, and then drop here, take an intentional damage boost here. Boom, 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 and we drop below. Easy. One more stage of Happy Quacky, and the next stage is kind of heck when you're playing it casually speaking. You'll see why. All these cacti do a full bar of damage. The main thing to note is that when you're standing on these flowers, when they open up, they will not let go of you until you jump off of them. So you can actually take it nice and patient. So that stage is done. We're going to move on to the next stage with Pumpkin Boat. And this is my personal addition to the speedrun that, shrug. I guess this is something that I thought to test, and it worked out pretty well. You can just float across the entire top of that stage. No clown boats, Toad. No clown boats. There's another ghost head, or there's another question mark head that you can use that's a clown face, and there's kind of like a running joke within my friend circle about how cursed Clown Boat is. So, yeah. Whoops. Crap. Well, that's fine. Thankfully, our health is going to be refilled at the end of this stage here. I take Skulldurg because I need the shuriken power to quickly deal with those penguins. Alright, there's the rest of our crew all rescued. And now we're going to confront Tapir and rescue Cocoron, I think it is. Cocoron, Cocoron, one of the two. I forget who we have saved right now and who we're rescuing. But yeah, Tapir here is a bit of a jerk. Basically, every time you shoot them, they retaliate with a few eggs that they shoot down below. Also, they go invincible for a little bit. and they are just really floating high. Jeez, that was a pretty rough Tapir fight. You'll notice that sometimes oh my god, I can speak. Sometimes they were taking 2 hits instead of just 1. There's kind of a weird timing where you can actually sneak in 2 hits. So here's the final stage. We've rescued everybody, and now we just need to drive Tapir away and trap them in an egg so that they don't so that they don't cause terror upon the dream that we've created. Here are the cutest enemies in the game. And that is a hill I will die on. Look at them, they're so cute! They're very deadly, though. So, don't touch them. 2 hits from them will fully kill me. Also, these flames here that are jumping about are very, very dangerous. They too will kill me in 2 hits. So, before I get to Tapir 2 here at the end of this hallway, it's basically the same as Tapir 1, but instead of 3 eggs, it's 5 eggs, which might not sound all that intimidating, but you'll notice just how much screen those cover and how dangerous it actually winds up being. You have to be really careful about how you weave in between the eggs here. And we actually got an extremely good Tapir fight. And so that's pretty much GG. Timer stops at the end of the music here. There we go. So now Tapir is trapped in an egg and won't be causing us any trouble soon. We get to see all of our characters that we made, and if we do sit through all of the credits, we get to see an in-game time. But yeah, thank you for all the GGs, and I just want to say this game is an extremely good casual game, and a really, really good speed game. I highly recommend giving it a try if you're looking for just like a kind of side-scroller, action-y speedrun. And if anybody has any questions, I will totally be happy to answer them. I love talking about this game, so yeah. No Omega Tapir. I'll leave it up to the RGL folks if we want to, like, move on or just wait another, like, 30 seconds-ish here to see the in-game time. I am kind of curious to see how that went, because I feel like that was a pretty solid run. Oh, here we go, we get to see it now. $8.43, pretty solid. Especially for a marathon run. Alright, and that is Cocoron. I'll let the RGL folks fade out now.